Say we live in this mud. What's going on out there in the YouTube realm? What's popping out there in the YouTube world? I know it's mad late. Ain't nothing for garbage though, man. Know what I mean? Garbage always up. Yeah, I've been receiving a bunch of messages, do topics about the archives. I've been going in on this cam right now, son. You know what I mean? I'm like a kid on Christmas Day. Man, I want to shoot anything, son. It could be paper on the ground. It could be birds flying. Anything, son. I'm for anything on screen. I'll be getting questions to do certain topics. Now, I know I spoke about the Zodiacs before, son. But I can't say check the archive. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure I did. But I was like, let me be brief. You know, because this person could potentially be spiritual. Could potentially be a soul that's vibrating on a spiritual frequency. I need to get some insight on what the Zodiac system is. You know what I mean? Well, you know, we've been trained to see the Zodiac system as this magnificent force that basically has all the answers. If you study the Zodiacs and you understand the Zodiacs, then basically, you know, you be good. You live your life based upon how the Zodiacs tell you how to govern your life. And everything will be a-okay. You know what I mean? You get your tarot cards, do your palm readings, you read your horoscopes. Make sure you just move in accordance with however the Zodiacs tell you to move. That's basically how we've been trained to see the Zodiacs. Now you gotta know that man did not create the Zodiacs that's out there in space. But man did create Zodiacs on Earth. You know what I mean? Human created Zodiacs on Earth. The Zodiacs that's in space, what they would want to call, well, you have these celestial bodies or these moons. Or what they would call planets. revolving around a sun, which is what they will call that action as a solar system. Now, all these bodies of planets being governed by the sun, and that's a zodiac right there. Now, all these planets around the sun, and that would be a zodiac. And this is something that I've stated before. They tell you about all the zodiacs out there, but they don't never tell you about this zodiac. They don't tell you about this zodiac that we're in. Never mind the moon being in Capricorn, or the moon being in Mercury, or the moon being in Sagittarius, because that's a way how they tricked you to not read the zodiacs. In other words, you're waiting for the moon out there in space to go into some zodiac house, and you're looking at that as an indication of identifying the principles that represent that zodiac that the moon is in. But no one ever stopped to think, if these planetary bodies floating around the sun is considered a zodiac, then what zodiac is this that we're in? Where all these planets got Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, Mercury, Neptune, Venus. You got all these planets in this solar system, but nobody is asking the question, what zodiac is this? You know what I mean? And why are we reading when the moon goes in Mercury? What about this zodiac? Because the same way how they got the moon for this planet, I'm speaking the language, goes in other constellation or other zodiacs. This planet that we're on, which is also a moon, goes in other zodiacs. But they don't never tell you about that. That's how I know I spoke about this before. Because they tell you about the moon phases, but they don't ever tell you about the phases of Earth. They'll tell you that the moon has phases. And the moon is full, which the moon ain't never full. I already debunked that. When you're looking at a full moon, you're really looking at a half moon. A half moon is a full moon, you know what I mean? And a quart moon, or what they would want to say is a half moon, it is really a quart moon. You know what I mean? But they tell you about all the phases of the moon, of Luna, but no one ever discussed the phases of Earth, which is also a moon, which also goes in and out of zodiac. You know what I mean? So the gods, they created those zodiacs. Now those zodiacs represent chaos energy. Now I know we've been trained to see chaos energy as negative. Not at all. Chaos energy is bipolar energy. When you're looking at energy that deals with positive and negative polarities, that is chaos energy. When you direct the chaos energy, that is a form of order. Let me reiterate. When you direct the chaos energy, That is a form of order. So when you're looking at the zodiac that the gods create, which consists of numerology, your positive and your negatives, and you see those constellations constantly sending energy or vibrations down to the planet, and you got a majority of the life forces responding to those energies and being governed by those energies, you're looking at real-time order in chaos. Now, see, this is when you're going to have to go outside the box. Order doesn't necessarily mean that it's right. You know what I mean? When you go outside the box, you realize that this whole right and wrong thing is nothing but cloak polarities attempting to keep your consciousness vibrating on an emotional frequency. But when you look at the order, it is not right and is not wrong. You can look at it as a form of a manipulation being governed, or a manipulation moving towards a manifestation state. You know what I mean? So you got the positive and negative energy, which represents chaos, and the order would come in when you are orchestrating or maintaining or governing that positive and negative energy. That would be the order. Because if you don't govern positive energy, it'll be an unbalance. If you don't govern negative energy, I'm speaking of the language, and I'll say it's positive and negative. Positive ain't good and negative ain't bad. But if you don't govern these energies, there will be an off balance. Basically, everything will be off balance within the spectrum of those two polarities. So when you come in and you manipulate those energies, now you have order. It doesn't mean that it's right, and it doesn't mean that it's wrong. It means that a governance is taking place, and that governing force is manipulating the positive or the negative energy. Now, earlier in the video, I said that the beast created a lot of zodiacs. I know people are going to be like, what do you mean? The man created a bunch of zodiacs. All you gotta do is open your eyes. When you look at societies, keep in mind, the zodiacs is organized chaos energy. Keep that in mind. Don't look at it as ultimately being as positive and negative polarity. You know what I mean? It's organized chaotic energy. Now, when you look at society, you will see that if you was to look at the cops and criminals, you will see that's zodiacs that was created. in all these societies, it's orchestrated as if the cops is really trying to rid territories, neighborhoods, societies, or the planet of this criminal activity. And it is also looked upon as the criminals is trying to get rid of the cops so they could just basically be criminals without worrying about being locked up. But if you pay close attention to the cops and the criminals, the positive and the negative doesn't mean good or bad. You know what I mean? I'm just speaking the language. When you look at the cops positive and the criminals, that's negative. You're looking at zodiacs and you're also looking at chaotic energy, but look deeper and see who's governing the chaotic energy. Because there's people governing the law enforcement and there's people governing and orchestrating the criminals. The criminal doesn't come up with the idea by his or herself to be a criminal. That all comes by way of chaotic energy that's being governed into them by way of a positive or a negative polarity or a zodiac. You know what I mean? When you look at religion, with Jesus and the devil, that represents zodiacs. The zodiac energy that's being governed, the zodiac chaotic energy that's being governed and manipulated by a governing force that understands what the energy really is, and that is the only way they are able to manipulate the energy and then in turn manipulate people. Like, you look at how many people on the planet, and this is people that's conscious and unconscious. And when I say conscious, it have nothing to do with the conscious community. I'm just talking about people that's aware, and I say that word aware in parentheses because they're not really aware. I'm speaking a language. You're looking at people that's aware that they govern their lives based on zodiacs. Like, you got the people who get the Sunday's papers and look at the horoscopes, and they're all into the numerology and the charts and the stars and all that. Like, they all into it. They're into it heavy. You look at those people who would be, conscious, but they're not really conscious. But I'm just speaking a language. You're looking at those people who are conscious of actually allowing that energy to manipulate them. But then you have the other people on the planet who operates under the illusion that, man, I don't need to be sitting up here, you know what I'm saying, reading some horoscopes or looking at the moon and seeing what phase the moon is in and going about my day like that. Those people are being governed by the zodiac energy as well. They just do it on a different frequency when you see these people fully intertwined in society. They fully intertwine in the matrix. You know what I mean? Like the dude, it's something I stated before a while ago. There was this guy who came here a while ago and he was installing a cable. And he was sitting up there talking and he was like, yo, if I ain't have my job, man, I don't know what I would do. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's one thing for somebody to say something like that, but it's like you could hear it in his voice. And I'm sitting there looking at him, and it's like you could tell that he really meant it, what he said. You know what I mean? Like, if he didn't have his job, he didn't know where he would be or what would happen. That is an example of somebody who's being ruled by the zodiac energy, the zodiacs that the man created on earth. All of your jobs that exist down here deals in this commerce is all variations of zodiacs, aka chaos energy that is in order. When I say order, I don't mean right. I mean that it's just directed and manipulated chaotic energy. In other words, you have a team of people who understand how the energy work, or they understand how these jobs work. Like, you have certain people, like this guy right here. He put in the cable and all that. Now, you might ask him, do he understand how his job is? And he'd be like, yeah. He'd be like, yeah, I go over here, I get this box, hook this machine up to the wires, and I read the machine, and the machine tells me where the problem is, and I go in there, change a few parts, might have to strip a few wires, and run some tests, hit some buttons, and change some circuits and all that. To him, he would look at it like he understands the job. You know what I'm saying? But if you ask him to go behind all of that and really describe what he's really doing, he wouldn't be able to tell you. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't be able to tell you. So that goes in with the that you have the chaotic energy that's being governed by people who really understand the purpose of him installing cable and internet. On the surface, it appears he's installing cable and internet. But when you go past the surface, you see that this man, life force, is being drained and governed by zodiacs that the man created on earth, and it's chaos, and he's moving in a chaotic energy format, and that energy is being governed by people he would never see. You know what I mean? He gets orders on how to do certain things, and they call it job duties, which is not even job duties, is basically chaotic energy being governed. It's chaotic energy being governed. You know what I mean? So, and you're looking at the zodiacs, it's not what you think. And the zodiacs that they telling you about, it's way more zodiacs than that, man. You know what I mean? See, these zodiacs that rule over the humans on this planet, like, these humans be fully into these zodiacs, and they live their life based on the zodiacs. Those zodiacs are like archons. And those are like, and those archons are like overrulers. I'm speaking a language, I say overrulers. It's like they rule over the individuals who's enslaved to polarities. They rule over the people who's enslaved to polarities. In other words, these people, they don't really realize that their entire life, the foundation of their entire life, is chaotic energy. They don't understand that. And when their life is being governed, that would be the order that's being brought into their chaos energy life. In other words, you see what just happened a little bit ago with this pandemic that's all over the planet. You have people all on Facebook, Instagram, making all these skits talking about, yo, I'm bored. I don't know what to do. I can't take being in the house no more. I'm tired of being around my kids. Those are the people, they showing you chaos energy. The chaos energy is building up inside of them. I'm getting tired of being around my kids. I'm getting tired of being in the house. I can't go outside. I can't go to the store. All the stores is closed. I can't watch the basketball game. Can't watch the football game. I can't go here. I can't go to the mall. I can't go to the movies. I can't go shopping. I can't go to the grocery store. I can't go nowhere. So you're looking at all of the chaos energy that's building up. You know what I'm saying? When you hear them saying things, I can't do this, I can't do that, that is a sign saying they want that chaos energy to be governed. In other words, they want the signal to open back up and say, go to the store, go to the movie theater, go to the theme park, go out on a date, go walk outside, go to such and such house and play or do whatever it is that y'all do. That's the energy they're looking for. They're looking for those signals to govern their chaotic energy. Because if you don't govern the chaos energy, it would be an off balance. And you see the off balance being played out when you was looking at these people all on the gram and all on Facebook, all on YouTube, making all these videos talking about how stressed out they are. You know what I mean? I'm tired of being in the house with my kids. I'm tired of seeing my man face. I'm tired of seeing my girl face. They in the window like a puppy. You know what I'm saying? Just looking at outside, wishing they could go outside. When you seeing all of those imageries take place, you're looking at the chaos energy constantly folding over on itself. The more it folds over on itself, the more chaotic it's going to get, and then it's going to be off balance, and that off balance is going to turn into a rage. Now you have rages that happen in the negative polarity and a positive polarity. The rages that happen in the negative polarity is obvious. Somebody yelling, screaming, cursing, ready to turn up. When you got a rage that's happening in a positive polarity, those would be the ones who say things like, I'm all about positive energy. I just want to feel good all day. They walk around pretending that everything is a-okay. They walk around pretending like nothing don't bother them. When something is bothering them, they smile. You know what I'm saying? That is an off balance. That's off balance. So, the man, the beast, the man understands what all this is. And you understand what all this is. You know. You want to talk about how he was in a cave and all that. Man, that whole story is fugazi. They was never in a cave. You go think about this, man. They say that the so-called white man came from a cave. I was on that wagon a while ago. You know what I mean? I was on that wagon a while ago. They said that they came from a cave. How in the hell do people come from a cave? That is no different than saying so-called black people came from Africa. How the hell do people come out of land? You know what I mean? How do people come out of land? The only thing I see come out of land is plants. You know what I mean? Like the only thing I see come out of land is plants. The only thing I seen come out of the cave is bats. And you know how the bats came out the cave? Because they went in the cave. You know what I mean? You gotta go in order to come out. The seed got to go in the freaking ground in order for the plant to come out the ground. How The so-called white man just come out of the cave. It don't make any sense, son. But I know exactly what it is, though, son. I mean, these Masons playing games again. But yeah, so when you look at society, you're looking at Zodiacs. You're looking at all these jobs. It don't matter if it's a college, McDonald's, no matter if they're an athlete playing for the Lakers or the Mets. It don't matter if they're a NASCAR driver. It don't matter what job it is. It is chaos energy. It is zodiacal energy, son. You know what I mean? All of the jobs that exist out here is different variations of zodiacs slash chaotic energy slash uh, 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 bring it an order is being brought into that chaotic energy by certain people manipulating it or governing it. You know what I mean? They're manipulating the energy or they governing the energy. And it's just something that I spoke about a while ago, son. And I'm talking about order and chaos. Because there was a bunch of people saying that there's no order in chaos. There's a video I did a while ago, son. It's talking about order and chaos. And I used the example of being in a club. I said, you got people inside of a club. They go there, they drink, they smoke. They listen to that to the sacrificial music. Guys in there scheming on the girls, girls in there scheming on the guys. They're doing all kinds of drugs in there. Now that's chaos. All of that is chaos. People in there drinking crazy, chaos. Smoking and doing their drugs, chaos. This man scheming on his, trying to fornicate, chaos. She's scheming on his pockets, chaos. It could be a dude in the cut scheming with the hammer on him, chaos. You know what I mean? All chaos. But within that chaotic realm, they have what is known as security guards. And those security guards represent order. Now, it ain't right or it's wrong, but they are there to govern the negative energy or the chaotic energy. You know what I mean? If somebody want to turn up, they try to start a fight up in there. That's the chaotic energy becoming unbalanced, and now the security guard comes in and they govern that energy. You know what I mean? They manipulate that energy to a degree where they get it under control and they use it how they want to use it. They manhandle the energy, whether it be a group of guys fighting. They manhandle that energy and tame that energy and utilize it how they want to use it. And that would normally be putting it in a space where it's not spreading to the other people in the party. You know what I mean? So when you're looking at that example I gave a while ago, talking about there is order in chaos. Because you see, but then again, if you was to go up to a regular person and tell them that there is order in chaos, they would hit you with the ever glitch look on their face, only because their brain has been trained to see things in positive and negative polarities. So immediately when you say chaos, they think bad. When you say order, they think good. So if you say there's order and chaos, they're going to look at you like that's an oxymoron. How the hell you could have order and chaos when chaos is bad and order is good? It's either one or the other. See, that's because their brain frequency is locked into the polarities, is locked in the positive and negative. But if you go outside the positive and negative and become the overseer, you will see that order is chaos and chaos is order. It's the same thing. That's why they go hand in hand. You know what I mean? Positive and negative polarity. You know what I mean? So all these cities, as I stated before, is different zodiac constellations. All of them. All of them. And the way how these people are being governed, how everybody's being governed. They're being manipulated by zodiac energy because this constellation that we're in is the serpent zodiac, as I've stated before in past videos. This is the serpent zodiac. You know what I mean? That we're in. But everybody on the planet is being governed by zodiac energy, numerology energy, which deals with the positive and the negative polarity. And ultimately, that energy is a prison binary system. It's not good, or is it bad? So you would have people say things like, what this guy talking about, man, it's a prison binary system. And he's sitting up here saying that everybody's being governed by the positive, negative polarity, the zodiacs and all this and all that. I don't know what he's talking about, because I've been doing my zodiacs and my numbers and it's working for me. It's supposed to work. You're getting results. Everything works. Even when you do something and it doesn't work out, it still worked. You know what I'm saying? It still worked. It still worked in the sense. See, that's another thing. You're looking at something that worked as something that's okay or operable. You know what I mean? Because if we say it worked, then that's a good sign. The polarity is again playing with you. If you say something don't work, it's a bad sign. We gotta do it again. No, it worked. When it doesn't work, it worked. Why? Because based upon the results, based upon the implementations that you implemented while you was doing whatever it was that you was doing, when you gathered those final results and it quote unquote didn't work, that's exactly what was supposed to happen. Your didn't work is a work. Failing is working. You know what I'm saying? Like when people try to do something and it failed and they said it didn't work, it did work. You got results based upon what you did. Though you failing was exactly what you were supposed to get based upon the implementations you implemented when you was trying to do whatever it was you was trying to do. So you were accurate. Your failure is accuracy, man. But they train you to see failure as something bad. Or they train you to see non-failure as something good. No, it's always been results. And the results is always precise. It's precise in the sense based on what was implemented when you was carrying out the task. That's it. If you get rid of the positive and negative polarity, you get rid of the good and the bad, you get rid of these damn emotions, everything would make so much sense. Everything would make so much sense. You won't be sitting up there stressing no more. Like, how is this even possible? You'll be looking at it and saying, yo, that is possible, because that's the results that's supposed to be acquired based upon the ingredients that person implemented. Bravo. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Bravo, son. Word up. But you know how it is in the Matrix. They say you gotta strive to win. Failing is winning. You just win on the negative polarity. When people normally win, like how they put it on in this Matrix, or I won, that's the positive polarity they win on. When they look on the positive polarity, they looking at it like, okay, I won, and I'm going outside the box with this now. You know what I mean? We out the box. And when you look at the person who lost, they would look at it like, damn, son, I lost. Because the other person won. No, actually, y'all both won. The reality is, y'all both won. That person won based upon the ingredients they implemented in whatever it was that they was doing, and you receive the exact results you were supposed to receive based upon the ingredients you put in. Now, if you want different results in regards to you so-called winning, what you're gonna do? You're gonna implement different ingredients. You know what I mean? You're gonna implement different ingredients that's gonna allow you to get those results that you assume is winning. Because the results you put in before that, you did win. You was 100% successful in your failure, because based upon what you did, you were supposed to fail. But you looking at it as if it's bad. You don't know that every step that you took was already pre-calculated. Zodiacs, the archons, they playing games. They playing games. You know what I mean? They playing games. So the man, the beast, is hundreds of thousands of zodiacs on this planet. And they get filtered down into jobs, cultures, personality, fashion, foods, diseases, a way of living. Everything that's in between the way of living is chaotic energy that's being governed by an order by people who understand how the energy works, because they know that if they don't tame the energy, it's going to be an off balance. It's going to be an off balance if they don't tame the energy. They send an abundance of chaotic energy through the God race. They do that in the form of racism, police brutality, um, poverty. You know what I'm saying? When you're looking at those, and there's many more. You know what I mean? When you're looking at those chaotic energy sequences, man, they sending all that energy into us, because who but us can absorb all that chaotic energy and bring order out of it. In other words, they do the most hideous things on the planet to so-called black people. That's a lot of chaotic energy that's being offset to us, because if that energy, the reality is, man, racism, police brutality, and all that, I know this is going to sound crazy, but you know, we out the box. Racism, police brutality, and all that stuff that they doing, that is a survival tactic for the entire human species. Because if they didn't send that energy to us and they send it amongst themselves, they would have already been on the endangered species list. They would have been on the endangered species list. You know what I mean? When they direct that chaotic energy into us, we now filter that energy into order, and they trick us to filter that energy into order by offering an apology. No matter how foul they treat the so-called black people, all they got to do is just say, I'm sorry, and it's like all the chaotic energy just get neutralized. Everything is a-okay now. You know what I mean? They constantly using the so-called black race as a buffer to offset an abundance of chaotic energy that if it was directed towards the other humans on the planet, man, it'd be some serious chaos, man. What? Man, listen, bro. It'd be some serious chaos, man. And that's a form of zodiac magic that they doing when they offset that energy, because they know only solar beings could neutralize that energy. Only souls could neutralize that chaos, that amount of chaotic energy, son. You know, because that energy is that chaotic energy is so strong that it could literally annihilate the entire human species. That's how strong that chaotic energy is, son. But they direct that energy into the so-called black race to dilute it and neutralize it. If they didn't do that, it'd really be hell on earth. I mean, it'd really be turn up time on this planet, B. See what's going on in chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I already know what it is, man. Tarot card psychic abilities is all results. That's all it is, man. It's results. No crimes are commercial. All crimes are engineered. All crimes are engineered and govern chaos energy. None of it is commercial. That's another form of zodiac energy that the beast created with these laws. The positive and the negative polarities being governed. And it ain't laws. As I stated before, the only ones who could really keep the law or exemplify the law, you got to be real. You got to be a soul. You got to be a soul. There is no pretending to be a law man or a law woman. There is no pretending. You know what I'm saying? You either it or you ain't. And the only ones who can really keep the law is solar beings. Spiritual entities cannot keep the law. They run simulations, programs, positive and negative polarities. That's what they run. Algorithms. I spoke about that in past videos with the Ten Commandments. A binary system, a BIOS system. The Ten Commandments is a BIOS system for computers, known as the humans. Biological computers. That's what the Ten Commandments is. A 1 and a O. It's not so much that they was given a value of 10 commandments, because that's how they play it off. They play it off like they was literally given 10 commandments, like thou shalt not do this, thou shalt not do that, thou shalt not do this. No, they wasn't literally given 10 commandments. The 10 commandments is a binary system, the ones and the O's. It's a program network that went into programming the humans. If you know anything about computers, when you manufacturing a computer, think about this for a second, man. Because when Adam and Eve, they got manufactured, created, because that's what manufacture is, putting together. You know what I'm saying? When they got manufactured and all that, they had to go through what they had to go through. Then this man had to go get some tablets from some mountain and come down and give it to the 10 Commandments. You know what I'm saying? But if you know anything about computers, when you putting together a computer and you buy all the parts separately, you put the board in, you put the RAM in, the GPU in, you hook up the power supply, then you get the processor, which would be the brain, the processor or the brain. Now, when you turn that computer on, the first thing you got to do is install a BIOS button. You got to keep, as soon as you turn the computer on, you got to keep pushing the delete button so you could go in the BIOS menu. That would be the subconscious mind. You go in the BIOS menu and then you have to upload the BIOS into the motherboard. In other words, the BIOS is the program that tells the motherboard and the computer, I mean the processor, how to run the programs. The BIOS, and that's a binary system. So when you're looking at the 10 commandments, it wasn't literally a value of 10 commandments. No, they was given a BIOS update. Tablets, update, tablet, Apple tablet, Palm Pilot, cell phones is tablets. You know what I mean? Your TV is a damn tablet. You know what I'm saying? So they was given a BIOS update, a consciousness on how to operate. It's an operating system. It's a consciousness operating. That's why I stated before. Your consciousness, or the human's consciousness, is like Windows. It's like Windows. Switch the word consciousness with Windows. Now you see how many programs you could download in Windows. You get music program, video editing software program, you get TV program, you get you get calculator programs, you get drawing programs, you get all kinds of programs that you could put into the computer, and Windows, which would be the consciousness, runs the program. It's the same thing with the humans. The BIOS, or the 10 commandments, was the consciousness. Now you have to fill the consciousness. How they fill the consciousness? Going to school. Social studies, mathematics, language, English, Japanese, Spanish, whatever you're speaking. Play basketball, football, hockey, tennis, baseball, swimming, fighting, boxing, karate, jiu-jitsu. And I'm an athlete. I can run 100-meter dash. I'm a cop. I'm a baker. I'm a pilot, a stripper. I'm a gigolo. I'm a drug dealer. I'm a gangbanger. I'm a crip. I'm a blood. I'm a president. I'm a father. I'm a mother. Those are all programs. Those are all programs that the consciousness, Windows, is simulating. You know what I mean? The consciousness the consciousness is simulating. It's all programs, huh? Straight up. That's why I say when it click, there is no one clicking. There is no one clicking. You woke for real. You ain't, and people who really woke, they don't say that they woke. They don't be going around talking about I'm woke or I'm conscious. People who really awoke do not go around advertising that to everybody like I'm woke, I'm conscious. You know what I mean? Because once it click, they understand where they at. They understand who they are. They understand what's going on. You know what I mean? Straight up. So these people out here who talking about they conscious, they pretending. Most of talking about they woke, they pretending. Especially if you still calling yourself a black man or a black woman or African or any one of these simulations. These simulated consciousness out here. You still identifying yourself as that in its totality? Man, you sleepwalking. You sleepwalking, man. It ain't click. Know what I mean? It ain't click. It ain't click yet, man. It ain't click yet, cuz. You know what I mean? But yeah, so you know they're not able to keep law, son. They run programs, rules and regulations and ordinances and acts. You know what I'm saying? Those are all programs. That's not law. They're not really running. They're not really. You got to be real, and you got to be able to connect to the source directly. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing you could fake. You can't fake law. It's not like these lawyers out here who faking law. It's real. It's souls. You know what I'm saying? The spirits, they pretend with the law, and that's all role playing that they do. You know what I mean? They don't really. Nah. I mean, the only ones who could do that is a soul brother and a soul sister. You know what I mean? And it is a law for us to be governing chaotic energy. That is a law. You know what I mean? And we breaking that law. We breaking the law of governing the chaotic energy, of governing the zodiacs. As I stated before, we supposed to be running this whole sector of space. Never mind getting a piece of land in Africa. They got you thinking like a human. You're supposed to be thinking like a god. You're supposed to be running this whole solar system. This whole sector of space we supposed to be running. Now that sounds like something a god's supposed to be doing. A god ain't supposed to be in some temple in Africa surrounded by jewelry and girls and being fanned with ostrich feathers. That ain't a god. That's a man pretending to be a god, man. That's why I say when they talking about those so-called black people when they was in Egypt and they talking about how these people used to be ruling the land and they was in Egypt and they had all these women and they had all this gold and all this jewelry. Man, you talking about somebody who was pretending to be a god. Those are the fake gods back then, son. They was not no real gods in no Egypt, man. You know what I mean? Real gods run planets. The whole sector of space. You know what I mean? We supposed to be running Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Pluto, Saturn, Venus, Neptune. We're supposed to be running all of these planets and moons in this solar system. That's what we, the God race, is supposed to be overseeing. We ain't supposed to be in some temple in Egypt surrounded by a whole bunch of men and women with jewelry here and jewelry there and drinking the fresh squeezed grapes, and you got chicks on the side of you fanning you with feathers. What kind of crap is that, man? Ain't no God supposed to be living. That's how somebody who's fell all the way into the ego is supposed to be living, son. Those are lust gods, man. Those ain't no real God. Those are the humans pretending to be gods because their limited mind, only exists in the positive. But a mind, period, vibrates on a positive and negative polarity. So they're going to look at it, well, if I was a God, this is what I would be doing. That's what you would be doing, but that's not what God actually would be doing. God wouldn't be sitting somewhere in some building with a bunch of girls and ostrich feathers fanning him, and he's drinking fresh squeezed grapes with a whole bunch of gold all over the place. You're talking about beings who could create anything. Why in the hell would they get pleasure in gold and drinking grapes? Come on. That sounds like a creature who never was given that opportunity. Now they gonna bang out. You know what I mean? That sounds like somebody who ain't never had that opportunity before. Now they gonna bang out. What? It's like these cats in the hood. They ain't never touched no real money. One of them hit the scratch off for $5 million. They gonna lose their mind. You gonna see them flossing the gold, the chains, the gear, the cars, the girls. Now you're not looking at a god. You're looking at somebody who never had that opportunity before. So now it's here. They balling out. So when they talking about those gods that's in Egypt, it's fake gods, man. They ain't no real gods, son. Real gods run planets. They don't lay up in some house or some mansion with a bunch of women and just like how they show these people lazy, just walking around doing nothing. That ain't how gods live. Gods constantly work. They always on the move, making planets, solar systems, projecting moons and planets through solar systems, and creating all kinds of life on planets. In all the dimensions that exist in the planets, they constantly creating. God ain't got time to be sitting down on no chair, on no throne. You know what I mean? With a king crown on his head and a cup in the one hand and a rod in the next. Man, the hell with all that, man. The hell God need a cup and a rod for when these are solar beings who could just do anything with a thought? They don't need no symbolism. People who can't do it for real need symbolism. They need to symbolically do things because they can't do it for real. That's what spirits do. Spirits can't do it for real, so they need to mimic, which is a ritual, to pretend that they could do it, make you believe that it's being done, and you use your thoughts to make it manifest. God don't need to pretend. They do it for real because they are the soul of beings.
You know what I mean? So these humans, man, I don't know about no law, man. Oh yeah, man, they pretenders, man. Pretenders, man. Let me see what's going on in the chat. It's all about raising the vibe, son. Raise the vibe. Raise the vibe. Raise the vibe, man. Hold up. Yo, bro, nobody got permission to upload my vids. You know what I mean? I'm still deciding what I'm gonna do with these joints. I might just put it up on a new channel I started, but I don't know. Concord grape is the ish, man. What you know about that, man? I be busting that down on a rag. I just got hip to that, man, about a couple months ago. I had bought that. And it was before this whole joint started going crazy, son. I used to get the what is it? I think it's the black cherry. And I was like, let me see what's up with this Concord grape. I think they only had like one bottle in the store, son. Cop that joint, son. I'm like, what? I went back to that joint, son. They ain't had that joint. I had to cop that off Amazon, man. And it's like when you buy it off Amazon, you gotta get like 5, 6 bottles. You can't you can't just buy one bottle, son. Know what I mean? They make you buy like 5 or 6 packs, son. I'm like, damn, son. I gotta buy like 6 bottles. I'm like, man, the hell with it, son. Well, that's how I had racked up on that. Like Concord grape. Yeah, man. It was good to be drinking them kind of juices, man, because they full of antioxidants, man. I was never really a juice drinker. I used to drink straight water. Now it's like I'm on my juice game, son. Make sure them juices got the antioxidants and just be busting them joints down. Word up. Yo, I'm gonna get back in the studio soon, son. I'm just waiting till all this stuff blow over. You know, what I mean? To tell you the truth, man, man, I've been using this time to be doing a whole bunch of stuff, man, going in on that video editing and camera. You know what I'm saying? But I should, you know what I mean, start, because I got the Pro Tools and all that. I gotta get me a better mic, though. Because I be mixing my own stuff. Like my engineer, he be doing like the main stuff. And I'll be just putting like the final touches on it. But I got all them programs to do all that, man. I'm gonna start recording my own stuff. I was telling my man, I'm like, yo, son, like I pretty much got a lot of this video editing stuff down packed now. So I told him, I said, you know that next level, man, is that music joint, son. Once I start going in on that, man, it's gonna be a wrap. I'm like, that's when I'm gonna open up the studio, and because it's like we be bringing mad customers to other people's, man. I'm like, yo, that's bread I could be making, and my prices would be extremely reasonable, son. These cats be charging like $75, $80 an hour, son. You know what I mean? I might even just charge them like $40 an hour. Come through. 40 an hour, son. You know what I mean? Doing something like that constantly, you getting paid to do something like that, that'll make your skills go up even higher. Because you own it more. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna be, I got a bunch of tracks that's just waiting in the wing right now. until all this blow over. So I get them joints on the same professionally mixed and all that. Be still gonna be shooting my own videos. Man. All of that is coming, man. All of that. Word up. Just turn that time into energy and make it manifest. Should I say turn that time into turn that energy into time and make it manifest. But yeah, man, it's all about raising the vibe. But yo, man, the Zodiacs, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is in a nutshell, man. You know, it's organized chaos energy, man. Chaos energy that has been organized, man. You know what I'm saying? If you look at nature, for instance, and you see that every creature that the gods created on a planet is a meal ticket for another creature. Like you got creatures that was literally created by the gods to be eaten by another creature. And so on and so on and so on. So you're looking at, you know what I'm saying, that's chaotic energy right there, but it's coming into a form of order. When these animals, for instance, you're looking at a bunch of lions eating a zebra, you know what I'm saying? They doing that to prolong their existence. That's the order that's coming in to prolong those lions' existence. You know what I mean? It's chaotic that the zebra got to be eaten alive. You know, the lions just violating. The jaguars, tigers, they just violating, son. You know what I mean? They be on the buffaloes, the elephants, the giraffes, the deers. They on everything, even alligators, man. I don't seen a freaking jaguar took a alligator underwater. Like what? This jaguar went, or this cheetah went in the crocodile's element, son. Took him underwater. You think the crocodile would have had a one up? Man, that dance that cheetah came from under that water with that lion neck. I mean, with the alligator neck in his mouth. I'm like, yo, crazy. And you know the water's dark. Not dark, but you know it's all muddy. So it's like you can't see under the water. You open the water, all you see is open your eyes on the water, all you see is mud. You're like, yo, when you're looking at that, you're looking at the chaotic energy being governed to bring in order. You know what I mean? Straight up. So you look at nature, it's a whole bunch of chaotic energy going on in nature. It's a whole bunch of chaotic energy going on the planet. That's why I say, you know, for these people who claim, you know what I'm saying, they want this world peace and they want peace all on the planet, they don't even understand peace is bringing order into chaos. And it's not peace in its form that is peaceful and everything is quiet, because that's an emotional description of peace. Peace is bringing order out of the chaos, and the order doesn't necessarily mean that it's good or bad. You know what I mean? Peace is to just bring the order out of the chaos. That's peace. You know what I mean? You manipulating it to your liking. You manhandling the energy, you governing the energy, and you directing the energy. That's peace. You know what I mean? Because the ultimate peace is to be in control. Peace ain't to be living in the suburbs, in a nice area. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the matrix definition. You in the suburbs, or you in a nice area, everybody's all friendly and all this and all that. The neighborhood is so good that you ain't got to put no locks or no alarms on your doors. That's a superficial description of peace. Real peace is being able to rule. You know what I mean? And know that your rulership is extremely effective. That's peace. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta worry about nothing when you're ruling and you know that your rulership is extremely effective. That's peace. You know what I mean? You experience quote unquote stress when you begin to start losing the grips of ruling. Because now you know that chaos energy is coming. And you don't have what it takes to redirect it or bring order into it. So you're gonna become a part of the chaos energy. And you could already see the effects of the chaos energy. You just look outside. You just look outside and see how many people have been embodied with the chaos energy, son. Polarities, negative and positive, bipolar personality. They all got a mind. You know what I mean? They all got a mind. It's a curse to have a mind. A mind is a curse because it operates on positive and negative polarities, man. Your soul go offline, you get a mind. You now have a mind. You now operate off of positive and negative polarity. When you're in your right state of mind, you're thinking in a positive wave band. When you're in your left state of mind, you're thinking in a negative wave band. When your soul is online, you're beyond the mind. You see the mind for what it is, a prison network. You know, like how they show you these old movies when they had this dude in the basement with the mask on. You know what I mean? What was the name of that movie, son? They had this dude with this metal mask on. Had him in some chamber, some dungeon with some metal mask on for like 1,000 years. Some wild movie they had, son. Look at that mask as a mind. He's being manipulated because he has the mask on. They got a chain on the mask and they pulling him wherever they want him to go and telling him wherever they want him to go, they pulling him. That's what the mind is. The mind is like that mask and the chain is the positive and negative polarity that's constantly being shot into the mind, telling you do this, don't do that, do this, do that, do this, do that. You're now being ruled by the archons, which is these zodiacs. These zodiacs put minds, and the gods put minds on people. It's minds on all animals. You know what I mean? They all got the mind. The mind operates over positive and negative polarities, man. Mind come from the word min. Min is moon. Moon deity. Minds only exist on moons. They do not exist in the etheric realms. You know what I mean? They do not exist in the etheric realms. The soul, we the souls, vibrate in the etheric realms, man. You know what I mean? So one of the greatest things you could do is lose your mind. Remember that song that person made? Free your mind and the rest will follow. Be colorblind. Don't be too shallow. Free your mind. When Neo was on top of the building, what Morpheus said? He said, free your mind. You know what I mean? He said, free your mind. But Neo didn't free his mind. Because what did he do? He immediately started running programs of the mind. He's sitting there trying to hype himself up. He's nervous, which is a mind program. So he's trying to hype himself up to make himself not nervous, which is another mind program. You know what I'm saying? So you still in the mind. You didn't free your mind. You got to let it go. You got to let go the positive and the negative polarities. You got to let it go. You got to become the overseer, son. You got to become the overseer. Straight up. So, beyond the mind, son. All about going beyond the mind and reestablishing who you really are, man. A solar being. free your mind. Got your free your mind. I mean, got your free your mind. Straight up. Yo, so that peppermint oil is strong. Ooh. I mean, you got the free your mind, free your mind, free your mind. Joe, man, I'm about to shut this joint down. I'm over here watching the Good Place on Netflix. They got a new season. I already broke that up. Can't say check the archives. You know what I'm saying? Yo, but in a nutshell, son, the Good Place is a comfortable space in hell. I mean, it's a comfortable space in hell, son. Word up. Yo, man, y'all already know what it is, man. Yo, hit that like button. I mean, they said YouTube did something to their live streams where it's more professional. I'm gonna see what's up with that, son. I gotta download this software. I'm gonna be using my camera when I go live, so we can get the live discussions. Man, dude, man, it's all about raising the vibe. You gotta raise the vibe. I mean, make sure y'all busting y'all water down, eating y'all greens, getting y'all exercise. Yo, son, I be running that park damn near every day, son. I took a day off today, so my legs was, man, bruh. My legs were sore than the mud. My joint, I was sore running around in joint, son. Jogging, limping. Like, yo, I'm definitely gonna be out there today. Get my laps in, son. I'll be busting them laps out non-stop. Man. Straight up. Joe, man, get y'all exercise in. Utilize this time, man. Know what I mean? What's going on right now? It's the digital fold over, man. Right now, you're supposed to be pulling in that new you. You're supposed to have been pulling in that new you, the new version of yourself. You're supposed to already start it before this. As soon as this joint first hit, you're supposed to be on that wave of pulling in that new you, the new version of yourself, son. You know what I mean? Don't have that same version of yourself when this from when this first started, this pandemic first started to when this thing go over. If this pandemic goes over and you still the same version from when the pandemic first started, you missed the boat. You miss the genetic update boat. You miss the solar update boat. You know what I mean? You missed the boat. You're supposed to be updating, son. Especially at a time like this, son. When they shut the matrix down. You damn near had no distractions. You had nothing but you time. You know what I mean? You had nothing but you time. You ain't have to worry about doing this, getting up over here, going over there. everything was shut down. Time for you to defibrillate, man. You're supposed to be defibrillating, son. Hold up, babe. Supposed to be defibrillating, son. So I know I took advantage of this joint, son. Look at the time. It's 1:15. 1:15 in the AM. What is it? What is it today? Friday? I don't even know what today is, man. Yeah, Friday. Before this pandemic started, I'd be in bed, son. Be in bed right now, son. Word up. I'm up. Like, freak that, son. Word up, babe. Straight up. But yo, man, I'm about to get up out of here, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's all about raising the vibe, raising the vibe, raising the vibe. I'm out.